Hello and welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're doing something a little bit different. Usually we're unpacking history or some big abstract concept. But today we're going inside your head. Specifically, we're going to talk about a glitch that happens to almost everyone who tries to learn a second language.
Ooh, a glitch. I mean, I'd call it more of a system crash.
It really feels like that.
Yeah.
I was reading the source material for this deep dive. It's from the Casual Convos English series. And it describes this scenario that it gave me flashbacks to my high school Spanish classes.
I think I know the one you mean.
Okay, so picture this. You're a dedicated student. You've done all the homework. You know the grammar rules, probably way better than a native speaker does.
Right.
You've got flashcards for days. If I give you a test, you get an A. If you listen to a podcast, you get it. You feel solid.
You are, on paper at least, a competent English speaker.
Right. But then reality hits. You walk into a coffee shop, or maybe a colleague asks you a super simple question like, how was your weekend? And suddenly, just nothing. It's like the blue screen of death inside your brain.
The dreaded freeze.
Yes. You know the words are in there somewhere, but your mouth won't move, your heart starts racing, and you just end up nodding and smiling like a maniac.
Yes, we've all been there. The source calls this the knowledge trap.
It's a perfect name for it.
It really is. And I think before we even get into the solutions, and we do have 3 really good ones today, we need to just sit with that feeling for a second. Because if you're listening and nodding along, you probably feel like there's something wrong with you.
That's the default, isn't it? I'm not smart enough. I have a bad memory.
I'm just not good at languages.
Exactly.
And the first thing we need to do is just dismantle that shame. The source material is very, very firm on this. The freeze has nothing to do with your intelligence. It's not about your vocabulary size. You can know 10,000 words and still freeze. The problem isn't a lack of knowledge. It's a processing error.
Okay, so if I'm not stupid, why is my brain just buffering all the time?
Because you haven't trained your brain for production. You've only trained it for storage. And there's a huge difference between learning English, which is academic, passive, analytical, and training for English,
Which is
athletic, active, and automatic.
I like that distinction. It's like reading a book about weightlifting versus, actually picking up a barbell.
Precisely. We're trying to move you from the library to the gym. The whole goal of today's deep dive is to bridge that gap. We want to get you to what the source calls automatic English speech.
Speaking without the lag.
Without the lag.
Okay, but to fix the lag, we've got to understand what causes it. The source mentions the translation trap, and I feel like that's where most of us live.
It is, and this is where we have to get a little bit into the neuroscience of what's happening. It's cognitive load theory.
Oh, we're getting fancy. Break that down for me.
So think of your brain like a computer with a limited amount of RAM, random access memory. You only have so much processing power available at any given second. When you speak your native language, the speaking part takes up, maybe 5% of your RAM. It's automatic. That leaves 95% for being funny or charming or noticing social cues.
Right. I don't have to think about how to conjugate a verb in English. I just I just say it.
Exactly. Now let's look at the translation trap. When you try to speak English, if you're translating from your native language, that process is incredibly expensive for your brain. Step 1, you form the thought in your native language. Step 2, you mentally search for the English words. Step 3, you arrange the grammar. Step 4, you check for errors.
That sounds exhausting just listening to it.
It is. That whole process uses up about 95% of your RAM. You have nothing left over. No brain power for your accent, no brain power for confidence, and certainly no brain power for flow.
So that freeze, that's my brain literally hitting its limit and just crashing.
That's the crash.
That makes so much sense. It explains why I can write an email perfectly fine because I have time, but I can't speak in real time. So the solution seems obvious, but also impossible. Stop translating.
It's not impossible,
Yeah.
but it does require a fundamental shift. We need to fire the middleman in your head. The goal is to connect reality directly to English. You see a cup, you think cup, not taza, and then cup.
Okay, but that sounds like magic. Just think in English. I mean, if I could do that, I wouldn't be listening to this deep dive.
Fair point. It's not a light switch you just flip. It's a habit you build. And the source material lays out 3 specific techniques to build this habit. And they're surprisingly low-tech. No apps, no teachers, no money.
Okay, let's get into them. And to keep it practical, let's follow a single scenario through all 3 techniques. Let's say, the quest for morning coffee.
A universal human experience. I like it.
All right, technique number 1, inner speech.
This is the foundation.
Yeah.
Inner speech is just that. That voice inside your head, the running commentary. I'm hungry. Where are my keys? I hope it doesn't rain.
Mine is usually, why do I stay up so late?
Right. For most learners, that voice is strictly in their native language. It's the default setting. So technique 1 is just hijacking that voice for small, low-stakes moments.
So, back to our coffee scenario. I just woke up. I'm groggy. What does inner speech look like here?
It starts the moment your eyes open. Instead of thinking your usual thought in your native language, you force a simple English sentence. Something like, I am awake, or I need coffee.
Huh. That feels almost too simple. Does that actually do anything?
It does everything. Think about the neural pathway. You felt a sensation being awake, and you immediately tagged it with English. You didn't translate. You didn't say, okay, how do I say I'm awake? You just connected the feeling to the word.
Okay, but here's the pushback. I'm tired in the morning. My brain is foggy. Isn't it going to be really hard to force English when I'm barely functioning?
That's actually the best time to do it. Because you can't do complex grammar when you're half asleep. You're forced to keep it simple. The floor is cold. Where are my slippers? The source emphasizes that short, punchy sentences are better. You're not trying to write a novel in your head.
So we're looking for frequency, not complexity.
Exactly. If you can do 5 of these little micro thoughts before you even brush your teeth, you've started your day in English. You've primed the engine.
Okay, I'm out of bed. I've thought I need coffee. Now I have to actually go get it. Which brings us to technique number 2, narration.
This is where we level up. Inner speech is about internal states. Narration is about the external world. You become the narrator of your own little documentary.
I love this idea, but I also kind of fear it. So I'm walking to the coffee shop. I'm supposed to be just describing what I see.
Yes. In your head, or even muttering quietly if no one's around you, narrate the action. I am walking down the street. It is a sunny day. I see a red car. I hear a dog barking.
Okay, I see the value. You're connecting vocabulary to real sensory input. But here is the big problem, and I know our listeners are thinking this. What happens when I hit a wall?
What do you mean?
So I'm narrating. I see a tree, I see a car, and then I see a squirrel. But I don't know the word for squirrel in English. Do I stop? Do I pull out my phone and Google it?
No. That's the trap. If you stop to look it up, you're back in student mode. You've broken the flow.
So what do I do? Just ignore the squirrel?
You describe around it. This is a crucial skill called circumlocution. If you don't know squirrel, you think, I see a small animal. It has a big fluffy tail. It is climbing the tree.
Ah, okay. So the goal isn't precision, it's flow.
The goal is flow. Exactly. When you're in a real conversation and you forget a word, you can't just pause time to check a dictionary. You have to talk around it. Narration is the perfect safe space to practice that skill. You're training your brain to stay in English even when it hits a pothole.
That's actually really liberating. It turns it into a little game. How can I describe this thing I don't know the name of?
And notice what's happening to your RAM here. You're walking, looking, and thinking in English all at the same time. You are integrating the language into your reality. You're not studying English. You are using English to perceive the world.
And the source mentions we can add emotions to this too, right? It's not just robotic observations.
Please do. That car is driving too fast. This wind is annoying. I am really excited for my coffee. Connecting emotion to the language is what makes it stick. Memory is so tied to emotion.
Right.
If you're just naming objects, it's boring. If you're complaining about the weather in English, you're owning the language.
Okay, so I've woken up with inner speech. I've walked to the shop with narration. Now comes the boss battle. I'm standing in front of the coffee shop door. I have to go inside and actually order. This is where the panic sets in.
And this is where we use technique number 3, mental rehearsal.
This sounds like something professional athletes do.
It's exactly what they do. High-performance athletes, skiers, basketball players, they visualize their performance before they do it. The source suggests English learners should do the same thing.
But isn't that just daydreaming? How is imagining ordering coffee different from just thinking about it?
The difference is the detail. It's the sensory engagement. You're not just thinking about the words, you're running a full simulation.
Walk me through it. I'm outside the door. What do I do?
You stop for just a second, close your eyes if you can, visualize the barista. Is it a man or a woman? Visualize the noise of the espresso machine. Smell the coffee beans.
Wait, why does the smell matter? I'm trying to learn English here, not smell-o-vision.
It matters because your brain uses the same motor cortex neurons to visualize an action as it does to perform the action. When you make the visualization vivid, your brain basically thinks it's really happening. You're laying down the neural tracks before the train even arrives.
Okay, so I'm visualizing the scene. Then what?
Then you run the script. Mentally say, "Hi, good morning. Can I get a medium latte, please?" Then, and this is critical, imagine the barista replying, "Sure, anything else?" And you reply, "No, that's all, thanks."
So you have to play both sides of the conversation.
You have to, because the anxiety usually comes from the unknown, right? What will they say? Will I understand them? By rehearsing the whole interaction, you're creating a memory of an event that hasn't happened yet.
So when I actually walk in and the barista said, "Sure, anything else?" my brain doesn't panic. It's like, oh, we just did this. I know this line.
Exactly. You've lowered the novelty, which lowers the cortisol, which keeps your RAM free for speaking. You're not reacting, you're reenacting.
That is such a cool hack. It's like cheating reality. You can have that conversation 10 times in your head before you have it once with your mouth.
And you could do this for anything. Job interviews are a big one. Introducing yourself at a party, asking for directions. If you do a mental rehearsal before a high-stakes moment, you are walking in already warmed up.
I want to tackle a fear I have with all of this, though. Let's say I do it all. I do the inner speech, I narrate my walk, I rehearse my order, I walk up to the counter, I open my mouth, and I still mess it up. I say good night instead of good morning.
I have done that many times.
It feels devastating. It feels like, well, the training didn't work, I'm hopeless.
And that is the emotional trap we have to avoid. The source material ends with a really important message about normalizing the struggle.
Okay, please reassure me.
Even native speakers stumble. I trip over my words all the time. I forget names. I use the wrong grammar sometimes. The goal of automatic English isn't perfect English.
It's fluid English.
That's the key distinction. Fluidity versus perfection. When you make a mistake, and you will, you have to view it as data, not as a failure. If you stumble on a word, that's just a little flag on the map saying, hey, practice this spot a bit more.
Yeah.
It's just part of the training process.
I think we tend to judge ourselves so much more harshly in a second language. If I trip up in my native language, I just laugh. If I trip up in English, I feel like I've disgraced my entire family.
Exactly. And these techniques, inner speech, narration, rehearsal, they are designed to build your confidence so that when you do slip up, you can recover quickly. You don't freeze. You just correct yourself and keep moving.
So let's wrap this up by looking at the big picture. We've got these 3 tools. How do they fit into a lifestyle? Because we're all busy. I don't have 2 hours a day to sit and narrate.
But that's the beauty of it. You don't need extra time. That's the old knowledge trap mindset thinking. You have to set aside time to study.
Right.
These techniques are designed to layer on top of your existing life. You are already waking up. You are already walking to the bus. You are already buying coffee. You aren't adding activities. You're just changing the soundtrack in your head.
It's turning your daily life into your own personal immersion program.
Precisely. If you live in a non-English speaking country, this is how you build an immersion environment inside your own skull.
I love that image. So let's recap for the listener who's ready to try this today.
Sure. Step 1, inner speech. The moment you wake up, hijack those first groggy thoughts. Keep them super simple. I am awake. I am cold. Connect the feeling directly to the English words.
Step 2, narration. As you move through your day, narrate the documentary of your life. Describe what you see. And remember the golden rule. If you don't know a word, do not stop. Describe around it. Keep the flow alive.
And step 3, mental rehearsal. Before any specific interaction, ordering a bagel, meeting a new boss, run the movie in your mind first. Visualize the details, hear the voices, and practice your lines.
It's a really powerful toolkit, and I think if you stick with it, the results could be pretty wild.
It changes everything. One day you'll be walking down the street, someone will ask you for directions and you'll just answer, and 5 minutes later you'll realize, wait a minute, I didn't translate any of that. That is the magic moment.
I have one final thought to leave everyone with. It's a little bit philosophical, but that's why we're here.
Let's hear it.
We talked about changing your internal voice, and we know that language carries culture with it, it carries attitude. So if I start narrating my life in English, do I become a slightly different person?
That is a fascinating question. There's actually research suggesting that we do shift our personalities slightly across different languages. Maybe English-speaking you is a bit more direct.
Or more polite.
Or maybe just more observant of the world around you.
I kind of like the idea of meeting English-speaking me. I hope he's cool.
I'm sure he's great.
So that's your challenge, listener. Go introduce yourself to that new version of you. Start the narration today. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
Keep practicing, everyone. We'll see you next time.